ECDC needs to raise $100,000 quickly. It's to help refugees who are already vetted and living in the Wausau area. News Channel 7's Bree Bilak spoke with the executive director of the ECDC. Bree, why does the organization need to raise this amount of money?
Well, Dale, it has to do with their federal funding. The ECDC executive director told me a memo directed her to pause the refugee reception and placement program here. The pause means no money to help the dozens of people who are now calling central Wisconsin home. Through federal funding, the program helps people over their first 90 days in Marathon, Portage, Wood, and Barron counties. But since the pause,
nothing can happen. Pause meaning we can't do any services for them. There's no funding coming in for that program. Staff cannot work in that program anymore because it's totally paused.
That means no rental assistance, no utility assistance, and no help with emergency needs through the program for the refugees who just moved to the country. Janice Watson is the executive director of the Wausau branch for the Ethiopian Community Development Council. The pause also means no refugees can come into the country.
And we had 42 clients that were here during that time. So that was January 24th that came in and were still in their 90 days. We had to suspend service under that program.
ECDC has other programs running that have federal or state funding. They're assessing clients who were in the reception and placement program to see if they qualify for those other programs.
Quite a few of them do qualify, but then there were limited funding in those programs in the first place.
The funding campaign is trying to raise money so that if a refugee who was in the first 90 days needs help, ECDC will be able to assist.
We recognize moving into a new community is one of the hardest things for anybody to do.
Watson says she's grateful for the community that can come together and help so many people.
Growing up in Jamaica, my grandmother used to say a little make a muckle. So a little brings a bunch together. And so a small donation can help to pay a utility bill, even if it's for 1 month.
The fundraiser started last Friday. At last check, it's raised $1,500. Watson told me if they do not get funding for the reception and placement program, they might have to reduce their staff. She says less staff would mean less people offering needed services in the community.